My son called me an embarrassment at his wedding in front of 220 guests. My name is Waldo Coleman. I'm 56. I teach high school chemistry. His wedding cost $85,000. His new in-laws, the kind of people who own half of Charlotte. They told everyone they paid for everything. Made sure every guest knew I was just the teacher, the one who didn't belong. But here's what they didn't know. I paid for most of it. The $30,000 honeymoon, the wedding band, the photographer, over $100,000 total. From my late wife's life insurance money, my wife, his mother, the woman who died 5 years ago, the woman they erased from the entire wedding. No photo, no memorial, not even her name in the program. When my son told me not to embarrass him, I stood up, walked out of that ballroom, and made 3 phone calls that changed everything. A lot of you have probably seen the video. It went viral. 4 million views. But you haven't heard my side of the story. And if you're someone who's ever been taken for granted by family, ever felt invisible after years of sacrifice, this one's for you. Hit that subscribe button. I'd love to know where you're watching from and if you've ever had to draw a line like I did. This is how a teacher making $68,000 a year taught a family worth millions that respect isn't about money. It's about remembering who carried you. Let me back up, give you the whole picture. My wife Fiona died 5 years ago, April 28, 2019. Breast cancer, stage 4. She fought for 18 months. Night shift nurse for 20 years at Presbyterian Hospital. She died taking care of other people. She left a life insurance policy, $85,000. MetLife. I remember opening that envelope, her signature still on the beneficiary form. Blue ink, slightly smudged where her hand had rested. Our son Ethan was 23 when she died. Junior year at UNC Charlotte, business major. I worked summer school every year after that. $8,200 extra. Paid for his senior year, his graduation. Fiona would have wanted that. 2 years ago, August 12th, 2022, I gave Ethan $60,000 from that insurance money. I told him, "This is for your future. Down payment on a house. Your mother wanted you set up right." He thanked me, hugged me, said he'd save every penny. He met Victoria 6 months later. December 2023, he proposed. Her family, the Crawfords, their Charlotte real estate royalty. Her father, Richard, owns half the commercial properties uptown. Her mother, Diane, runs the junior league. You know the type. Country club memberships, vacation homes. The word summer used as a verb. The wedding planning started immediately. And I started noticing things. Small things at first. The wedding program arrived 3 weeks before the ceremony. Crane's Letra-Pearl white paper, 120-pound cardstock. Gold foil. Crawford family crest on the cover. Cost $2,800 for 250 copies. My friend Pandora, Fiona's best friend, known her 30 years. She showed it to me at coffee. "Waldo, did you see this?" I opened it. Victoria's parents got a full paragraph. Names, titles, home city. Richard and Diane Crawford of Charlotte, North Carolina. Richard is president and CEO of Crawford Properties. Diane serves as president of the Junior League of Charlotte. My name? 1 line. 8-point font. Waldo Coleman. No descriptor. No mention that I raised Ethan alone for 5 years, that I'm a teacher, that I exist as anything more than a footnote. I told Pandora, it's their day. I don't need the spotlight. She gave me that look, the one Fiona used to give me when I was letting someone walk over me. "Waldo," she said, "this isn't about spotlight. This is about respect." I shrugged it off. Told myself it was just wedding stress. Told myself it didn't matter. But it kept happening. The rehearsal dinner, Friday night, October 17th. Private room at Blackstone Steakhouse. Burgundy wallpaper. Crystal chandelier. 45 guests. $6,200 bill. The Crawfords paid. Made sure everyone knew. Diane stood up to give a toast. 12 minutes long. I timed it. She had 3x5 note cards. Printed. Bullet points. She thanked the florist, the wedding planner, Victoria's sorority sisters, family friends, the caterer, the band. Not once did she mention me. Not once did she mention Fiona. When she finished, everyone applauded. Ethan hugged her. Called her the best mother-in-law a guy could ask for. I sat at the end of the table, separate from the family seating. I caught Pandora's eye across the room. She shook her head slowly. After dinner, I pulled Ethan aside. "Hey, your mom would have loved all this." He smiled, distracted. "Yeah, Dad, for sure." Then he added, "Diane just has a lot going on. You know how it is." "She forgot to mention me in her speech," I said. Kept my voice light, casual. "Dad, Don't take it personal. It's just wedding stuff. She was nervous. But I'd seen those note cards. Diane Crawford doesn't get nervous, and she doesn't forget. I went home that night, opened my laptop, checked my email, pulled up a confirmation from May 8th, 2024. Subject line, Coleman Honeymoon Confirmation VT882193, Etihad Airways, Charlotte to the Maldives via Abu Dhabi, 2 first-class tickets, Conrad Maldives Rangali Island, Water Villa, 10 nights, total $30,216.80. I'd booked it secretly 4 months earlier. Through Ashley, Victoria's best friend. The only one in that family who'd been kind to me, who'd looked uncomfortable every time Diane made a comment about the teacher. I stared at that number, $30,000. More than half my annual take-home pay after taxes. They didn't know. The Crawfords thought Ethan had paid for it. Ethan had let them think that. I closed the laptop, went to bed, didn't sleep. The next day was the wedding. Saturday morning, October 19th, 2024. I woke up at 5:30. Couldn't sleep anyway. I sat at my kitchen table. Same table Fiona and I bought in 1997. Laminate top. Scratches from Ethan's homework. From art projects. From 28 years of life. I pulled out a folder. The one I kept in my car. The one nobody knew about. Document 1. MetLife Life Insurance Payout Letter. $85,000. Fiona's signature. April 28th, 2019. Beneficiary, Ethan Coleman for Education and Future. Document 2, Bank Transfer Receipt, August 12, 2022, $60,000. Memo line, Mom's gift, make her proud, down payment fund. I found out 3 months ago, June, scrolling through Victoria's Instagram, that Ethan had spent it, all of it, on the wedding, venue upgrade, open bar, live band, photography package. Victoria posted a photo of the venue contract signing. Caption, so blessed for our dream wedding. Can't wait to marry my best friend. $60,000, his mother's money, meant for a house, for stability, for the future she'd worked night shifts to provide. Gone. To impress the Crawfords. He never told me. Never told Victoria where the money came from. Document 3. Receipt from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. September 27th, 2024. Platinum wedding band, 6mm, custom engraved, $14,800. I'd paid for it 3 weeks before the wedding. Ethan said he wanted to surprise Victoria with the perfect band. Asked if I could help. Just a loan, Dad. I'll pay you back. I said yes. Wrote the check. He told Victoria it was his savings. Document 4. Personal check number 1847. October 16th, 2024. $11,950. Payable to Ashton Grand Hotel Photography Services. The photographer's final balance. Ethan called me 2 days before the wedding. Panicked. Dad, there's a problem. The photographer needs the balance. Victoria's parents thought we had it covered. Can you... I drove to the hotel that afternoon. Handed the hotel manager. James, his name tag said. My check. James looked at it. Looked at me. Mr. Coleman, you're Ethan's father? Yes. You're paying for this? Yes. He nodded slowly. My father was a teacher too. I respect what you're doing. He didn't know the half of it. Added up. $60,000 for the wedding costs Ethan hid. $30,000 for the honeymoon. $14,800 for the band. $11,950 for the photographer. $116,950. I make $68,000 a year. Before taxes. After? $51,200. I'd just spent more than 2 years of take-home salary on a wedding for a son who couldn't even thank me, for in-laws who treated me like I was embarrassing just by existing. And the worst part? Thursday afternoon, 2 days before the wedding. Ethan called. Hey, Dad, about the mother-son dance. Yeah? Victoria's mom wants to do something special, a tribute to all mothers. It'd be kind of sad if we did the traditional thing. You know, with Mom gone. You understand, right? Silence on my end. Dad? Whatever you want, son. It's your day. Thanks, Dad. You're the best. I knew you'd get it. I hung up, sat in my car in the school parking lot, stared at the steering wheel. Fiona's dance. The one tradition that would have honored her. The mother who died so he could have a future. Erased. So Diane Crawford could have her moment. I opened the MetLife folder again. Looked at Fiona's signature. Heard her voice in my head. The last conversation we had before she got too weak to talk. Don't let anyone treat you like you don't matter. You matter, Waldo. Promise me. I'd promised. And I'd been breaking that promise for 2 years. That's when I made my decision. Sitting in that parking lot. Looking at my dead wife's signature. But I didn't tell anyone. Not yet. The wedding was at 6 p.m. the Grand Ashton Hotel, Uptown Charlotte. 5 stars. 28-foot ceilings in the ballroom, 3 crystal chandeliers, 8 feet each. Rental cost on those alone? $2,200. I arrived at 2. Ethan had asked me to help him with his cufflinks. Father-son moment. I appreciated that. His suite was on the 4th floor. I knocked. He opened the door. Already in his tuxedo pants and white shirt, nervous smile. Dad, hey, thanks for coming early. I stepped in, helped him with the cufflinks. Silver, engraved with his and Victoria's initials. Big day, I said. Yeah, huge. Victoria's family really went all out. I paused, waited to see if he'd mention anything. The photographer bill, the band, the honeymoon. Nothing. You ready? I asked. I think so. Just want everything to be perfect, you know? It will be. He looked at me. Thanks for being cool about everything, Dad. I know it's been a lot. What do you mean? Just all the planning. Diane taking over. I know she can be intense. I finished with the second cufflink. You're marrying Victoria, not Diane. He laughed. Tell that to Diane. We stood there for a moment. I wanted to say something. Ask him about the 60,000, about Fiona, about why he'd let them erase her. But I didn't. I just said, I'll see you out there. The ceremony started at 6:15. I sat in row 7, left side. Diane had done the seating chart. The Crawford family took up the entire front row. 12 people. Reserved signs in gold calligraphy on cream cardstock. Pandora sat behind me in row 8, leaned forward and whispered, You should be up front. It's fine, I said. It's not. The processional started. Classical music, string quartet. Diane walked down the aisle first. Champagne-colored gown. Bagley Mishka, $3,200. I'd overheard her telling someone at the rehearsal dinner. She was escorted by Richard Crawford. Applause, photographs, smiles, then me, solo. No announcement, no applause. I walked to my seat, sat immediately. Victoria came down next. Beautiful, I'll give them that. The dress was stunning. The ceremony lasted 23 minutes, standard vows. Ethan's voice cracked when he said, I do. Sweet moment. But during his vows, he added something. Off script. Victoria, I'm so grateful to your parents for welcoming me into your incredible family, for showing me what generosity looks like. Camera panned to Diane and Richard. Diane had tears. Richard nodded proudly. Zero mention of his own family, of me, of Fiona. The reception started at 7:30, cocktail hour first. I tried to approach Ethan and Victoria to congratulate them. Diane intercepted me in the hallway. Louboutin heels. Click, click, click on the marble. Richard, she smiled. Big, bright, fake. The teacher, right? Yes, good to see you, Diane. So nice you could make it. Ethan's just so lucky to have Victoria's family. We've been so generous. The word generous hit like a slap. Richard Crawford walked up, shook my hand. Firm grip, the kind that's meant to establish dominance. We just want the kids set up right, you know? Good start in life. I stayed quiet, jaw tight. They walked away. Diane said something to the woman next to her, loud enough for me to hear. It's just so important that they have the right foundation. Financial security, you know. The implication hung in the air. They provided that, not me. The DJ announced the grand entrance at 8. Mr. and Mrs. Ethan Coleman. Applause, cheering, lights. Then, parents of the bride Richard and Diane Crawford. Spotlight, more applause. They waved like celebrities. And the groom's father, Waldo Coleman. Brief clap. DJ moved on immediately. Pandora caught my eye from her table, shook her head. Dinner was served, filet mignon, $85 a plate, 220 guests. I did the math in my head. 18,700. The toast started at 8:30. Best man first. Funny stories. Sentimental ending. 6 minutes. Maid of honor next. Childhood memories. Inside jokes. 7 minutes. Then Richard Crawford stood up, cleared his throat, smiled at the room. I've been looking forward to this moment, he said. 8 minutes. He talked about family legacy, business lessons, welcoming Ethan into our world. The line that broke me? We've given these kids the foundation they need, the best education, the best connections, the best start a young couple could ask for. I gripped my water glass, knuckles white, rydal crystal, thin stem. He sat down. Applause, cheers. The DJ said, We'll now open the floor for additional toasts. Anyone who'd like to share? I stood up. Pandora whispered, Waldo? I walked toward the microphone at the front of the room. 15 seconds. Felt like 15 minutes. Every eye on me. I reached the mic, adjusted the height. Good evening. I'm Waldo Coleman, Ethan's father. Polite applause from some tables. I wanted to say a few words about my son. Dad, Ethan's voice. From the head table, loud. I paused, looked at him. Dad, wait. He stood, walked quickly toward me, hand out for the microphone. We talked about this, he said. Quiet, but the front rows could hear. We're running long. You said I could speak. Thursday. I said maybe. Look, it's just, Victoria's family has a schedule. Diane stood up from the head table, champagne glass in hand. Her voice projected across the ballroom. Yes, let's keep things moving. We have the cake cutting soon. She walked toward us, heels clicking. 18 steps from the head table to where I stood. I counted. Richard, she said, sweet voice, hostess smile. You're so sweet to want to participate, but we've already had the family toasts. She emphasized family toasts, like I wasn't family. I'm his father, I said. Of course, and you've been lovely, but timing, you understand. She looked at Ethan. Honey, why don't you help your dad back to his table? Several guests shifted in their seats, uncomfortable. Crawford family table, table 2, front and center, a few smirks, nods of approval. Victoria's uncle muttered something, the word awkward carried. Ethan gripped my elbow, fingers tight, thumb pressing the ulnar nerve. Not rough, just insistent. Dad, please. I didn't move. He leaned closer, whispered. But Pandora heard. The people at table 3 heard. Don't embarrass me. 5 words. I looked at him. My son. The kid I raised alone for 5 years. The kid whose college I paid for with summer school wages. Whose wedding I funded with his dead mother's sacrifice. Embarrass you? I said. You know what I mean. This isn't... They planned everything. Just let it go. They planned everything. Yes, Victoria's family. They've been amazing. Just... Please, Dad. Diane added louder. Richard, maybe you're tired? It's been a long day. Why don't you sit? We'll catch up later. She spoke to me like I was confused. Elderly. Someone who needed managing. I looked around the room. 220 faces. Watching. Pandora at table 18, jaw clenched, furious on my behalf. James, the hotel catering manager, standing near the sound booth. Arms crossed, waiting to see what I'd do. Crawford family table. Amused superiority. Like this was dinner theater. Random guests. Uncomfortable pity. Poor old teacher who doesn't understand wedding etiquette. Ethan. Embarrassed. Frustrated. Wanting me to disappear. Victoria. Worried about the scene. Not about my feelings. About the optics. I saw it clearly. I was the problem. My presence. My blue-collar existence. My $68,000 salary. My off-the-rack suit from Joss A. Bank that I'd bought for Fiona's funeral 5 years ago. Then I heard her voice. Fiona's. From that last conversation. Don't let anyone treat you like you don't matter. You matter. I handed the microphone to Ethan. He exhaled, relieved. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate... I need to make a phone call, I said. Dad, where... I'll be right back. My voice was calm, cold, final. I turned, walked toward the exit, 30 feet. Double doors, brass handles, guests murmured. Diane called out, All right, everyone, let's get ready for cake. Forced cheer, moving the party along. Pandora stood, followed me. Ethan returned to Victoria, whispered something. She nodded. They cut the cake 3 minutes later. Nobody noticed I didn't come back. I walked through the double doors, into the hotel lobby, marble floors, vaulted ceiling. A wedding party laughed near the elevator. Not ours. Someone else's celebration. Someone else's happiness. I found a leather chair in the corner, sat down, pulled out my phone. Pandora appeared 20 seconds later. What are you doing? She asked. I opened my files folder. 3 phone calls. Watch. Call 1. I dialed. Golden Horizons Travel. After hours line. Automated system. Thank you for calling Golden Horizons Travel. If you're calling about an existing reservation, press 1. To make a new booking, press 2. I pressed 1. Please enter your confirmation code. I typed VT882193. Conrad, Maldives. Coleman booking. Departure October 21st. Total cost $30,216.80. To modify this reservation, press 1. To cancel, press 2. I pressed 2. Are you sure you want to cancel this reservation? Press 1 to confirm. Press 2 to return to the main menu. I pressed 1. Cancellation processed. Refund to original payment method within 5 to 7 business days. Thank you. I hung up. Pandora stared at me. The honeymoon. Fiona's money, I said. Not theirs. Call 2. I scrolled to another contact. Harold Bennett, my attorney, the man who'd handled Fiona's estate in 2019. He answered on the second ring. Waldo, everything okay? Harold, I need you tomorrow morning. What's wrong? I'm revoking the wedding gift, the joint account. What do I need? Pause. You're still within the vesting period. I can draft the withdrawal authorization tonight. How much? 125,000. Jesus, Waldo, you okay? I want it moved back to my account by Monday. Consider it done. I'll email you the paperwork. You sure about this? I'm done being okay with being walked over. I'll have it ready 9 a.m. Monday, my office. Thanks, Harold. I hung up. Call 3. I opened my voicemail app. Hit record. Ethan, it's Dad. I'm leaving. The honeymoon is canceled. Check your email in about 2 minutes. The joint account wedding gift. I'm withdrawing it Monday morning. The wedding band receipt is attached. The photographer bill I paid, attached. Your mother's life insurance, the $60,000 I gave you that you spent on this wedding, all documented and attached. You called me an embarrassment in front of 220 people. You let your mother-in-law treat me like help. You erased Fiona from your wedding entirely. So now you're going to learn what embarrassment actually means. I loved you. I loved your mother more than anything, but I won't fund disrespect. Goodbye. I stopped recording. Attached 7 files. Sent. Pandora's eyes were wet. You're not going back in there? I stood. Actually, I am. Waldo? They deserve to know who paid for their party. I walked back toward the ballroom. Pandora followed. I pushed through the double doors. The DJ was playing upbeat music. Guests were eating cake, laughter, celebration. I walked directly to James, the catering manager. I need that microphone, I said. Quiet. 30 seconds. He looked at me, studied my face, nodded. You got it. James went to the DJ booth, said something. The DJ looked confused but handed over the mic. James walked it to me, placed it in my hand. I walked to the center of the dance floor. Guests were mid-conversation, mid-bite of cake. Ethan saw me, stood. Dad, what? I pressed the mic button. Feedback squealed briefly. I apologize for the interruption. This'll be brief. The room went silent. 220 people stopped, forks down. Conversation ceased. Diane started to stand. Richard Crawford put his hand on her arm. Wait, my name is Waldo Coleman, I said, voice calm, measured. I'm a high school chemistry teacher. I make $68,000 a year. I paused, made eye contact around the room. 5 years ago, my wife Fiona died of breast cancer. She was a nurse, night shifts at Presbyterian Hospital for 20 years. She left a life insurance policy, $85,000. I held up my phone, turned it so the front tables could see. MetLife document visible on the screen, zoomed in, Fiona's signature clear. I gave my son Ethan $60,000 in August 2022. I told him it was for a down payment, for his future. I looked directly at Ethan. You spent it on this wedding. You never told me. You never told Victoria. Victoria's face went white. She turned to Ethan. Her mouth opened. Ethan was frozen, pale, sweating. 3 weeks ago, I continued, I paid $14,800 for Ethan's wedding band. I held up the jeweler's receipt on my phone. He told Victoria it was his savings. Gasps from several tables. A woman at table 9 said, Oh my God. 3 days ago, I paid $11,950 for the photographer's final balance. I nodded toward James. The catering manager here processed my check. It cleared Friday. James nodded to the room. Confirmation. And 4 months ago, May 8th, I secretly booked and paid for the honeymoon. First-class flights to the Maldives, 10 nights at the Conrad Rangali, water villa. I held up my phone again. Eddie had confirmation visible, the amount visible, $30,216.80. Dead silence. You could hear the air conditioning. Total? I said. $117,000. That's nearly 2 years of my take-home salary after taxes. I let that sink in. Looked around. At Diane. At Richard Crawford. At the guests who'd watched them take credit for everything. 90 minutes ago, I said, voice still calm, your son told me not to embarrass him. I looked at Ethan, then at Diane, then at Richard. So I called the travel agency. The honeymoon is canceled. The room erupted. Gasps. Multiple people said, Oh my God. Someone dropped a fork. It clattered on china. Victoria stood. What? I called my attorney, I continued. The $125,000 wedding gift I put in your joint account, I'm withdrawing it Monday morning, 9 a.m. Dad, you can't, Ethan started. It's my money, Ethan, from your mother's sacrifice, and I can. I turned to face Diane and Richard Crawford. They were still seated at the head table. Richard's face was red. Diane's mouth was open, but no words came out. You told everyone you planned everything, I said. You were generous. You welcomed Ethan into your incredible family. I paused. Let the irony breathe. You paid for the rehearsal dinner. $6,200. Congratulations. The sarcasm landed. A few guests shifted, uncomfortable. I paid for the honeymoon, the wedding band, the photographer's balance, and I gave Ethan $60,000 that he spent on this wedding without telling anyone, and I'm the one you told to sit down. Richard Crawford stood. Now wait just a minute. I'm a teacher, I said, voice cutting through his. You made sure everyone knew that, like it was an insult, like I should apologize for it. I looked around the room, made eye contact with random guests. My wife was a nurse, night shifts for 20 years. She died taking care of other people. Her insurance money paid for this wedding. My voice cracked slightly. I steadied it. And my son thanked everyone tonight except me. He thanked your family for generosity, for welcoming him, for giving him a foundation. I turned back to Ethan. You erased her, your mother, no photo table, no memorial, no mention in the program. You let Diane decide everything. Diane opened her mouth. That was a mutual... You canceled the mother-son dance, I said, voice sharp now. So Victoria's mother could do a tribute to all mothers. Fiona's been dead 5 years. You couldn't give her 3 minutes. Several guests were crying now. A woman at table 12 wiped her eyes. Pandora was standing at table 18. Tears streaming, arms crossed. She was the best person I knew, Pandora called out. Loud, clear. She was, I agreed. And her money bought your respect here tonight. But you gave me none of it. I set the microphone down on the nearest table, carefully, gently. The receipts are in Ethan's email, all 7 attachments. If anyone has questions, he can explain where the money came from. I started walking toward the exit. Ethan moved, followed me. Dad, wait, we can talk about this. I didn't stop, didn't turn. We just did. Pandora fell in step beside me. James, the catering manager, walked ahead. Opened the ballroom doors for us. I walked through, Pandora with me. The doors closed behind us. Behind those doors, silence, then eruption. We heard it even in the lobby, voices rising, shocked conversations. The DJ didn't restart the music. Pandora and I walked to the hotel entrance. The valet brought my car. 2016 Honda Accord. Silver. Small dent in the rear bumper from a parking lot incident in 2022. I tipped him $5. Got in. Pandora got in her own car behind me. My phone started ringing before I reached the parking lot exit. Ethan. Then Victoria. Then unknown numbers. I silenced it. Drove home. 12 miles. I didn't speed. Didn't cry. Didn't rage. Just drove. When I pulled into my driveway, Pandora parked behind me. You okay? She asked. I'm tired, I said. But I'm done pretending. Fiona would be proud of you. I should have done it years ago. I went inside. My house. Same house Fiona and I bought in 1997. 3 bedrooms. 1.5 baths. Mortgage paid off in 2015. I sat on the couch. Turned my phone back on. 19 missed calls. Ethan. 14. Victoria. 3. Unknown numbers. 2. 7 voicemails. I didn't listen. 23 text messages. Ethan. Sent 2:47 a.m. Dad, please call me. We need to fix this. Victoria is devastated. Her parents are furious. Please, I'm sorry. I didn't mean embarrass. I meant we were running late. Please call me. No punctuation. Panic typing. I didn't respond. I forwarded everything to Harold, my attorney. Added a note. Document all of this. He replied 3 minutes later. Already drafting. See you 9 a.m. Monday. Get some sleep, Waldo. I slept for 8 hours straight. First time in months. Sunday morning. I woke up at 7:30. Made coffee. Sat at my kitchen table. Opened my email. From Victoria Crawford. Sent 8:15 a.m. Subject, I'm so sorry. Mr. Coleman, I had no idea about any of this. Ethan never told me about the $60,000. He never told me you paid for the wedding band, or the photographer, or the honeymoon. I feel sick. I'm so sorry for how my mother treated you. I never wanted any of this. I just wanted to marry Ethan. Can we please talk? I know I don't deserve your forgiveness right now, but I need you to know I didn't know. Victoria. I stared at that email for 5 minutes. Then I replied, Victoria, I have no anger toward you. You were lied to, but Ethan made his choices. Those choices have consequences. I wish you both well. Waldo. Deleted the rest of the unread emails without opening them. Except one. From Ashley Morrison. Sent 7:02 a.m. Subject. You did the right thing. Mr. Coleman, everyone's talking about what happened. Diane is having a complete meltdown. Half the guests left the hotel last night without saying goodbye. The other half are texting about it this morning. You did the right thing. I've felt sick watching how they treated you. I hope you're okay. Ashley. I replied, Thank you for helping me book the honeymoon. You're a good person. She wrote back immediately. You paid for it. You had every right to cancel it. I'm just sorry it came to this. I closed my laptop. My phone rang. Ethan. From an unknown number. Victoria's uncle's phone, probably. I answered. Ethan. Dad, please, the honeymoon. Victoria's crying. Her parents are freaking out. Can we just... You spent your mother's money without telling me. I know. I should have said something, but you let them erase her memory. I didn't mean Diane just had these plans. You chose them over me, over your mother. That's not fair. I was trying to keep everyone happy. Everyone except me. Everyone except Fiona. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. So you're just going to destroy my marriage? His voice broke. Take everything back? I'm taking back what was mine. You destroyed your own marriage by lying to your wife. She'll forgive me. But I need that money, Dad. The joint account. We have plans. You had plans. Monday morning at 9. It's gone. I hung up. Blocked his number. Blocked Victoria's number. Blocked every Crawford number in my phone. Monday morning, October 21st. Harold's office. 4th floor. 125 North Trade Street, downtown Charlotte. Bennett & Associates. Gold lettering on frosted glass. Harold was 64. Gray hair. Wire glasses. He'd handled Fiona's estate in 2019. Good man. Honest. Waldo. He shook my hand. Gestured to the chair across from his oak desk. I have the paperwork. He slid 3 documents across the desk. Document 1. Joint account withdrawal authorization. Wells Fargo account number 4392-8816-2255. Amount $125,000. Original deposit date September 30th, 2024. Vesting period 90 days. Current date October 21st. Day 22 of vesting period. Withdrawal right retained by depositor until December 29th. Signature required, mine only. Processing time 3 business days. I signed, black ink, steady hand. This'll clear Thursday, Harold said. He can't stop it. Legally, it's still your money. Document 2. Honeymoon cancellation confirmation. Golden Horizons travel letterhead. Official company seal. Booking VT882193 canceled October 19th, 2024 at 10:23 p.m. Refund amount $30,216.80. Refund method. Original Visa card ending in 3791. Timeline 5 to 7 business days. Already processed, I said. Harold nodded. Document 3. Expense documentation summary. For my records. Protection against future legal claims. If he tries to sue claiming these were irrevocable gifts, Harold said, you're covered. Everything's documented. Witnesses, receipts, and given the circumstances, his misrepresentation, his lies to Victoria, no judge would side with him. I don't think he'll sue, I said. Probably not, but better safe. I stood, shook his hand. Thank you, Harold. Fiona would be proud of you, Waldo. Second person to say that. I nodded. Left. 10:15 a.m. Wells Fargo branch. South Boulevard. I met with the account manager, Jenna Stevens. Mid-40s. Professional. Kind eyes. Mr. Coleman, I have the authorization from Mr. Bennett. She pulled up the account on her screen, turned the monitor so I could see. Current balance, $125,000.00. The withdrawal will process today. Funds will appear in your personal account by Thursday. Confirmed? Confirmed. She printed a receipt, handed it to me. Mr. Coleman? Yes. My daughter's getting married next year. She showed me something online this morning, a video, from a wedding this weekend. She paused. Everyone's talking about it. My stomach tightened. Online. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Wedding guests posted videos. It's everywhere. She hesitated. For what it's worth. You're a hero to a lot of parents right now. I didn't know how to respond. She smiled, small, sympathetic. You did what a lot of people wish they had the courage to do. I took the receipt, thanked her, walked to my car, sat behind the wheel, pulled out my phone, opened Twitter, typed, Teacher Wedding Dad. The results loaded. My heart sank. The top tweet had 4.2 million views. Video clip, 45 seconds. Shot on someone's phone. Shaky, but clear enough. Me at the microphone, saying, the honeymoon is cancelled. The room's reaction. Gasps. Victoria standing. What? Caption. Teacher Dad exposes son who spent dead mom's insurance on wedding. 23,000 retweets. 16,000 quote tweets. 48,000 likes. I scrolled through the comments. Thousands of them. This is why you don't marry up and forget where you came from. The mom's memory being erased broke me. That father is a saint. $68K teacher paid $117K? That's love. Son is trash. Respect to this man. Set boundaries or get walked on forever. Diane got exactly what she deserved. Classist nightmare. I kept scrolling. Couldn't stop. TikTok had it worse. The full showdown. 2 minutes 18 seconds. 2.4 million views. Posted by someone at table 14. Reddit thread on r/wedding shaming. Teacher father cancels honeymoon after son calls him embarrassment. 8,600 upvotes. 1,200 comments. Facebook. Shared 127,000 times. Local news picked it up. Charlotte Observer article, Viral Wedding Moment Sparks Debate on Family Boundaries and Respect. The article included quotes from anonymous wedding guests. The father paid for almost everything. The bride's family took all the credit. It was disgusting to watch. When he listed those receipts, the actual dollar amounts, you could have heard a pin drop. Everyone realized the Crawfords had been lying. My phone rang. Unknown number. I didn't answer. Text from Pandora. Have you seen it? Are you okay? Me. I've seen it. I'm fine. Pandora. You're not fine, but you will be. Call me if you need anything. I drove home. Sat on my couch. Stared at the wall. My principal, Dr. Helen Morrison, called that afternoon. Waldo, I just saw the news. Are you all right? Do you need time off? I'll be at school tomorrow, Helen. I'm fine. The district's aware. If any media contacts you, refer them to me. And Waldo? Yes? What you did took courage. I hope you know that. I hung up. Opened my laptop. Checked Ethan's LinkedIn. Suddenly had dozens of new connection requests. Some looked legitimate. Others had hostile messages in the preview. Victoria's Instagram had gone private. Comments had been flooded before she locked it. Diane Crawford's Junior League page had negative reviews. Classist organization. Treats working people like garbage. Diane Crawford is everything wrong with wealth. I closed the laptop. Felt sick. This wasn't what I wanted. I wanted boundaries, consequences, not public humiliation on a global scale. But it was too late. The video was out there. Permanent. Tuesday, October 22nd. I taught my classes. 2nd period, 4th period, 6th period, 8th period, chemistry, periodic tables, stoichiometry. The same lessons I'd taught for 23 years. The students didn't know. Yet. But the teachers did. Lunch break. 4 colleagues approached me in the staff room. Jennifer Hayes, English teacher. 15 years. Waldo, we saw what happened. You're incredible. Thomas Wilson, history teacher, 22 years. My son pulled something similar last year. Wish I'd had your spine. They weren't offering pity. They were offering respect. It felt strange. Good. Uncomfortable. Wednesday, October 23rd. Ethan called from another unknown number. Left a voicemail. Dad, Victoria moved out. She's staying with her parents. But she's furious at me, not them. Her dad told me I misrepresented myself. That in his business, that's fraud. They're talking about prenup enforcement. Asset protection. She wants marriage counseling. I said yes. I don't know what else to do. I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. Please call me back. I didn't. Thursday, October 24th. The money appeared in my account. $125,000. My phone pinged. Bank notification. I logged in. Checked the balance. $142,388.67. Ethan's joint account now showed $3,847.52. I knew because Victoria had sent me a screenshot. With a message. He told me we had $130,000 saved. I just found out the truth. We have less than $4,000. He has $23,000 in credit card debt I didn't know about. A BMW lease in his name I thought he owned. I don't know who I married. I replied, I'm sorry you're going through this, but he made these choices. Not you, not me. She didn't respond. Friday, October 25th, the honeymoon refund hit my account. $30,216.80. I sat at my kitchen table, opened a new folder, labeled it Fiona Coleman Memorial Fund, transferred the honeymoon refund into a new savings account. Purpose: scholarship for single parents pursuing education. First recipient next fall. Someone who worked nights. Someone who sacrificed. Someone like Fiona. She would have wanted that. I closed my laptop, looked at her photo on the mantel. Wedding day. 1994. White dress. Huge smile. I did it, I said out loud. To the empty room. To her. I stopped letting them walk over me. The house was quiet. But for the first time in 2 years, it felt like mine again. Week 2, early November. The viral storm didn't stop. It grew. Parenting blogs wrote response pieces. BuzzFeed, Huffington Post, Scary Mommy. When generosity becomes enabling, the teacher dad who said enough. The working class parent dilemma, Give everything, get nothing back. Setting boundaries after adult children take you for granted. Online polls appeared. Was the father right to cancel the honeymoon? Yes. 83%. 94,000 votes. No, 17%. 19,000 votes. The comment sections were brutal. Toward Ethan. Toward the Crawfords. Imagine lying to your wife about where money came from. Divorce him, Victoria. Diane Crawford thought she was better than everyone. Karma came for her. That son will regret this for the rest of his life. He lost his father over a wedding. Some defended Ethan. He made a mistake. People are acting like he committed murder. But they were drowned out. Ethan's workplace noticed. He worked at a marketing firm. Image conscious. Corporate culture built on family values. A coworker I didn't know sent me a LinkedIn message. Mr. Coleman, I work with your son. Just wanted you to know people here are talking. Management pulled him aside yesterday. They're concerned about client perception. I thought you should know. I didn't respond. Victoria and Ethan's marriage hung by a thread. She'd moved back in with her parents, 3 days after the wedding. Still there 2 weeks later. Ethan was living alone in their apartment. The one bedroom they'd rented in South End, Victoria's parents owned the building, $2,400 a month. Ethan's salary, $72,000 a year. After taxes, about $4,300 a month, minus rent, minus car lease, minus credit card minimums, minus utilities and food. He was barely surviving. Victoria demanded marriage counseling. First session, November 8th. I know because she emailed me, asked if I'd be willing to join eventually. The counselor says family of origin issues need to be addressed. I replied, I'm not ready for that, but I hope it helps you both. The Crawford family reputation took a beating. Diane's junior league presidency came under review. Members saw the video. Some were horrified by how she'd treated me. Others defended her. It's her daughter's wedding. She had every right to manage it. But the damage was done. Charlotte is smaller than people think. High society, even smaller. Gossip spreads fast. Richard's business didn't suffer. Money protects money. But 3 clients mentioned the video in meetings. Awkward small talk. Saw something about your daughter's wedding online. Everything all right? He laughed it off, but his face went red each time. Victoria's brother, 31, works in his father's company, sided with his parents. Dad and Mom did nothing wrong. That teacher was out of line. But Victoria's younger sister, Emma, 24, just graduated from college, texted me directly. Mr. Coleman, I'm so sorry for how my family treated you. You were always kind to me. I never agreed with how Mom acted. I hope you're okay. I replied, Thank you, Emma. That means a lot. She wrote back, Victoria's a mess. She feels betrayed by everyone. Ethan for lying. My parents for being so awful to you. She doesn't know who to trust. Tell her I'm not angry at her, I said. None of this was her fault. Emma, I will. But she's not sure the marriage can survive this. 3 weeks after the wedding, November 9th, Pandora and I met for coffee. Our monthly tradition, corner booth at Amelie's, South Boulevard location. How are you really doing? She asked. Caramel latte in front of her. I had black coffee. I'm okay. Better than I've been in years, actually. You sleep? Every night. 8 hours. She smiled. Good. You look better. Less tense. I feel lighter. And Ethan? He's called 6 times, different numbers. I haven't answered. Are you going to? Eventually. Maybe, I don't know. Fiona would want you to forgive him. Fiona would have walked out of that rehearsal dinner, I said. She wouldn't have waited until the wedding. Pandora laughed. True. The scholarship fund is at $35,000 now, I said. I'm adding $200 a month. First recipient next fall, single parent going back to school. That's beautiful, Waldo. It's what she would have wanted, her legacy, something real. We sat quietly for a moment, sipped our coffee. Do you regret it? Pandora asked. Walking out? Canceling the honeymoon? All of it. No, I regret not doing it sooner. You gave him a lot of chances. Too many. He's trying, you know. Victoria told Emma he's been going to therapy. Individual sessions. Good. He should. Victoria gave him an ultimatum. Change or she leaves. So he's changing for her, not for me. Pandora shrugged. Does it matter if the result is the same? I thought about that. Maybe not. 4 weeks later, mid-November. Ethan showed up at my house, 6:45 p.m. Friday night, November 15th. I was grading papers, chemistry tests, balancing equations. The doorbell rang. I opened it. My son stood on the porch, thinner than I'd ever seen him. Beard grown out. Not groomed, just there. Eyes tired, shoulders slumped. Dad, can we talk? I stood in the doorway, didn't invite him in. 5 minutes. Victoria and I are in counseling. She's really hurt. You lied to her. I know. Silence. I'm trying to fix it, he said. But we're struggling, but that's not why I'm here. Why are you here? I need to apologize for what I said, for how I treated you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got caught up in Victoria's family. They made me feel like I wasn't good enough unless I was like them. Rich, connected, important. And I made you feel like you weren't enough. And that was wrong. I listened, didn't speak. Mom would be ashamed of me, he said, voice breaking. Yes, I said, she would. He flinched, but nodded. 23 seconds of silence. I counted. I accept your apology, I said, but I don't trust you. He looked up, eyes wet. If you want a relationship, you earn it. No money, no favors. You show up, you acknowledge what you did, you prove you've changed. How long will that take? As long as it takes. I pulled a folded piece of paper from my pocket, handed it to him. What's this? Terms for rebuilding trust. Read it. If you agree, we start there. If not, don't come back. He unfolded it. Read. Terms for rebuilding trust. 1. No financial requests for minimum 2 years. 2. Weekly phone call. You initiate. 15 minutes. 3. Monthly in-person coffee. Neutral location. 4. Visit Fiona's grave together. Quarterly. 5. Family therapy if when Victoria agrees to include me. 6. Complete honesty. No hiding. No managing my feelings. 7. Public acknowledgement if asked. My father paid for significant portions of my wedding. I took him for granted. His hands shook. I'll do it. All of it. We'll see. He folded the paper, put it in his pocket. Thank you for giving me a chance. Don't thank me yet. Prove it first. He nodded, turned, walked to his car. I watched him drive away, closed the door. Didn't feel hope. Not yet, but possibility. Maybe. 3 months later. January 15th, 2025. Pandora and I sat in our corner booth. Same coffee shop, same drinks. Wednesday afternoon. Teachers get out early on Wednesdays. How's it going with Ethan? She asked. 7 phone calls, 3 coffee meetings. He's trying. You believe him? I believe he's scared. Victoria gave him an ultimatum. Change or she leaves. So he's changing for her, not you. That's what I said to him. What'd he say? Nothing. But he keeps showing up every Wednesday. 7 p.m. phone call, every 3rd Saturday. Coffee. He hasn't missed one yet. That's something. It's a start. Pandora sipped her latte. And you? How are you? I sleep now. I wake up and don't feel heavy anymore. Like I was carrying something for years and finally put it down. What about school? Good. Normal. The kids don't know about any of it. The teachers do, but nobody treats me differently. Well, Dr. Morrison checks in more often, but she's always been good to me. The scholarship fund? $38,400. I add $200 every month. First recipient gets announced in August. Full ride for a single parent going back to school. We're partnering with Central Piedmont Community College. Fiona would love that. She worked so hard. Night shifts for 20 years. This way her sacrifice means something beyond what Ethan did with it. We sat quietly. The coffee shop hummed around us. Other conversations. Espresso machines. Normal life. Do you think you'll forgive him? Pandora asked. Really forgive him? I don't know. Maybe. But forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean going back to how things were. No, it doesn't. He asked me last week if I'd come to dinner. Him and Victoria. Said she wants to apologize in person. Will you go? Not yet. She sent me an email, long one. Said she had no idea about any of the money. That Ethan lied to her for 2 years. That she's been in therapy trying to process it all. That her parents won't apologize for how they treated me, and it's causing problems between her and them. Good. They should have problems. I smiled. She said she understands if I never forgive her for the wedding, for not standing up for me, but she wanted me to know she's sorry. What'd you say? I said I appreciate the apology, that I hope she and Ethan figure things out, but that I need more time. Fair. Late January. Phone call with Ethan. Wednesday night. 7 p.m. He called right on schedule. Hey, Dad. Ethan? I got a new job. Better pay. $82,000. Congratulations. Thanks. Victoria and I are looking at apartments, moving out of her parents' rental. We need space from them. That's good. Dad, I'm not asking for money. I just wanted to tell you. I know. Pause. Victoria and I went to Mom's grave last weekend. We brought flowers, white roses, her favorite. I saw them. I was there Sunday morning. Oh, I didn't know you go every week. I do. Another pause, longer. I read her headstone. Beloved wife and mother. She gave everything. I never really thought about that before, what it meant. She did give everything. Her time, her health, her future. For us. I know. I'm starting to understand that now. Good. The counselor asked me why I was so desperate to impress the Crawfords, why I needed their approval so badly. What'd you say? I said I don't know. But then I thought about it more, and I think after Mom died, I felt like I lost something. Status, maybe. Or security. And Victoria's family had all of it. Money, connections, certainty. And I wanted that. I wanted to feel important. You were important. You are important. But not because of them. I know that now. I didn't then. Therapy's helping? Yeah, it is. Victoria's still angry, but she's staying, for now. That's between you two. I know. But I wanted you to know I'm trying. Really trying. I see that. The call ended at 7:12. 12 minutes. Under the 15-minute limit. He's learning boundaries. Present day, late January. I'm sitting in my living room. Same house. Same furniture. Same life, mostly. But different. Lighter. People ask if I regret it. Walking out. Canceling the honeymoon. Taking back the money. I don't. I regret not doing it sooner. For 28 years I've taught chemistry, reactions, equations, balance, the law of conservation of mass. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. But I forgot the most important equation, the one that governs relationships. Respect given must equal respect received. When that equation becomes unbalanced, something breaks. Someone breaks. I broke at that wedding, in front of 220 people, at the microphone, when my son told me not to embarrass him. But breaking saved me. I spent 5 years, since Fiona died, trying to fill the hole she left. Trying to be enough, giving Ethan everything. Money, support, freedom to make choices, even bad ones. I thought love meant saying yes, meant absorbing the hurt, meant being the bigger person. But love without boundaries isn't love. It's self-destruction. Fiona knew that. She set boundaries. With patients who were rude. With family members who took advantage. With people who didn't respect her time. Don't let anyone treat you like you don't matter, she told me. 2 days before she died. Too weak to sit up, but fierce in her eyes. You matter, Waldo. Promise me. I promised. And then I spent 5 years breaking that promise. Until I didn't. My son might forgive me someday for embarrassing him, for canceling his honeymoon, for exposing his lies in front of everyone he wanted to impress. I've already forgiven myself. For allowing him to erase me. For staying silent. For pretending it was okay. The viral video? The millions of views? The news articles? I didn't want any of that, but I'm not sorry it happened. Because it forced accountability. It forced Ethan to face consequences. Real ones. Not vague disappointment. Not guilt trips. Actual loss. The scholarship fund has grown to $40,000 now. First recipient gets announced in 6 months. We're calling it the Fiona Coleman Memorial Scholarship for Single Parents. Full tuition. Books. Childcare stipend. That's her real legacy. Not the wedding Ethan threw with her insurance money. This. Helping someone who works nights. Who sacrifices. Who needs a chance. I'm 56 years old. I teach high school chemistry for $68,000 a year. I drive a Honda Accord with 185,000 miles. I live in a house I bought in 1997, and I have my dignity back. That's worth more than any wedding, any honeymoon, any family peace built on me staying silent. If you've watched this far, thank you. If you're in a similar situation, being taken for granted, being erased, being treated like an ATM, I want you to hear this. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to walk away. You're allowed to take back what's yours. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They're survival. I lost my son for a while, maybe permanently. I don't know yet. But I found myself. And that trade, that was worth it. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had to set a boundary like this? What happened? And where are you watching from? Thanks for listening.